Hello, all you beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of the Balance Podcast. I'm Micah. Today we have our co-host, as always, Chris, and again joining us, Shane Harris. We're going to be discussing the video, Jiu Jitsu, starring Nicolas Cage. This movie came out in late 2020, I believe, and it is a trip, and not so much in a good way. It's a C-level video at best, but it was fun to discuss and break down, pick apart, and laugh at. So I hope you can get a laugh out of it too. Enjoy.
He referred to the prophecy of the one who will bring balance.
We will bring balance.
Perfectly balanced. This whole thing should.
And between it all,
balance.
Hey, you know what I have always said? I've always said that the movie Predator would be better with kung fu and bad acting. That's what I've always said.
Well, your wish was granted at the end of 2020.
Dude, that's so fucking weird you said that. I was going to say the movie was exactly like Mortal Kombat meets Predator.
It was, for sure.
But like way worse. And with bad effects.
Didn't he kind of have a little bit of the power of the Flash as well at times?
Did he? Nicolas Cage?
No, not Nick. Not Nicolas Cage. Our poet warrior, our spaceman.
Oh.
Oh, Brax?
Yeah, Brax was fast as hell at times. It was ridiculous.
I also didn't like his name. Brax just like threw me off. First of all, I thought of Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy, but Brax also sounds like something I would clean my sink with. Oh, I'm thinking like Ajax.
It sounded a little too like, I mean, for an alien name, I know it's not like a conventional name, Brax, but like, it still kind of sounded like his name might have been like Chaz or something like that. Like
it's like one letter away from
Brax,
Brad.
the alien.
You know what's funny is the way they all talked about him, I was kind of okay with it until I heard Micah say Brax, and then my mind also immediately went to Drax.
Yeah. Oh, hey guys, we're talking about Jiu Jitsu, by the way.
We are talking about the movie Jiu Jitsu starring Nicolas Cage.
Not actual Jiu Jitsu.
Right. And not actually starring Nicolas Cage. He was not an afterthought. He was an important role in the film. And he's also the main reason we watched it, but
I was thinking
he wasn't
about
in it for half the time.
I was thinking about this, and as I was like taking notes, I wrote the word film down. And I'm like, this wasn't a film. Like, I feel like film, what comes along with that is like a certain level of respect.
Yeah, film implies an attempt at something good.
Yeah, and then so there's like film, and then there's like, so like a score of like 6 to 10 is a film. I think like a score of like 3 to 5 is a movie.
Yeah,
and 1 to 2 is a video. We watched a video.
Are we giving ratings this early? Is that what's happening?
No. I'm sorry. But
oh my God.
No, it felt like a bunch of guys, or because I was about to call them actors, but they're not really actors. They're a bunch of people who I guess know martial arts in real life.
Some.
And they're showing it off on the screen, which they maybe do like 2 to 3 times each. And it's fine.
Yeah.
The martial arts, it's fine.
I guess my question is, the main star of this movie, his name's like Elaine Moussi. And I'll be honest, I didn't look into him at all. I assume he's a fighter. I assume he's a martial artist. He's also the worst actor in the film, so I don't understand why they chose him as the lead, because there were actual actors in the movie that are pretty decent.
Yeah, he was worse than Brax.
Dude,
I don't think Brax had any lines.
He had less of a personality than Brax.
You know what I would have preferred about Brax? If we never saw his face.
Yeah, that was weird. It was like Zordon.
Yeah.
It was like Zordon.
But
it reminded me of something like some old kids show that I can't put my name on, but like wasn't there a kids show where a guy had an animated face like that? Like it was projected on his face?
Probably.
Like Power Rangers or something?
Yeah, like Zordon, no? Or are you talking about one of the villains?
Kind of like Zordon, but it kind of like, I read this book. It's one of my favorite novels called The Gargoyle, where there's this very extreme specific description of what it looks like for an intense burn victim to wear this compression suit with this mask where their face is pressed in like a goldfish in a bowl. And that's what it reminded me of, is a burn victim pressed into like a glass vase or something. It was like...
That's what that was.
It wasn't necessary. I would have been fine with it stylized as just like a cloud suit over his face kind of thing is what they did in the beginning.
Yeah, you're right. We didn't need to see his face. That didn't add anything.
Would have been fine without it.
Right. But it also wouldn't have raised the score of this film.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. You know what was a highlight of the film for me? The effects were pretty great, like the comet.
You mean at the very beginning?
The comet and those flying blades that our main character's running away from.
Oh my god. Those whatever ninja stars. Jesus.
Dude, they're all just like standing around, like looking around, talking to each other with fucking like supposed ninja stars going past their face.
It's so stupid. Well, oh man, yeah. One thing I can say for this film, though, I think if it has any redeeming quality, it was some of the cinematography during the fight scenes. I don't know if you noticed, but some of those were like one take. Shots. And, like as the cameraman, he had to maneuver around the fighting too to catch the angles. And I thought that was pretty cool and ambitious.
Yeah.
Did anybody
I
actually
like those
look
scenes
up?
Okay.
Did anybody actually look up who was playing Brax?
No.
Me neither.
No.
But I'm sure it was a martial artist
cast right here. And Brax was played by a guy named Ryan Taryn.
Oh, Ryan Taryn.
Of course, of the Taryn family.
Yeah.
He looks like a boxer. Like,
it's like,
so some of the saving grace of the movie, the stuff that I actually liked stylistically, I think one of you were talking about that it was based off of some kind of a comic. I liked the comic feel of it, where they did these scene transitions and they tried to cut it off into chapters. So they had stuff like one of them was called The Rescue, and then The Reunion, and My Time. And My Time especially was, I think, one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Skipping ahead. I don't think you guys will mind if I skip around.
Don't matter.
Where one of the main guys in the unit that they were with, he basically, like, he has this cue where he says, "It's my time." He's going to fight Brax and he's going to die, and he does, but he goes out like a badass.
Right.
I'm missing what character you're talking about.
He's
Honestly,
the only black guy in the squadron.
Oh.
I was about to say, the Asian guy.
The bald guy.
Oh.
Dude, I was like, I opened up the cast right here, and I still just kind of have no idea which character.
I guess
was
I don't
which,
remember that scene. Sorry. No? I watched this movie like 3 days ago, and my mind has naturally repressed it.
It happens.
So I gotta... So I was perusing the internet, and I saw the budget of this film. You know what the budget was? It was $25 million.
Jesus.
What the fuck?
I don't know, but... Okay, so $20 million had to have gone to Nicolas Cage alone, right?
Like $25 million.
Yeah, $24.5 million. But
so if you guys don't mind, I want to talk about some of the other actors in this movie a little bit, because there was a lot of highlights for me in that regard. The woman who was interrogating our protagonist in the film, she's actually really great in this TV show called The 100 that I like quite a bit. And she's a total badass. I feel like she was misused and they killed her off in a weird way. But I didn't love her in this movie, but I don't think that was necessarily her fault. Arguably my favorite character in the movie, beyond Nick Cage. Have either of you ever watched My Name is Earl?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't really. I know Micah has.
No? You haven't,
Not me
Shane?
so much, no.
Okay. My Name is Earl. So. Anyone who hasn't seen it, I would highly recommend it. It's a hilarious comedy. But one of the black guy towards the beginning, the interpreter, that's kind of throughout. He's kind of the comedic relief throughout the movie. He plays a character that everybody knows as Crabman in My Name is Earl, this ridiculous comedy series, and he's hysterical. I love this actor. He's awesome. And he was purely Crabman throughout this entire freaking movie. Anybody who knows who this guy is, if you've seen the movie, if you haven't, don't watch it. But if you have, I think you probably enjoyed him for the same reasons. But like there was a random amount of like actors that I really liked, or like Frank. I don't know if it's Grillo or Grillo. Do you guys remember him from Marvel?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah. He was the gritty guy in the film. The guy that kind of seemed like he was the lead of this militant group that was in charge of fighting Brax, right? And he was in Marvel, and he's what is it? He
Crossbones, right? Isn't that his name?
Yeah, he's Crossbones. Yeah, exactly.
I was actually surprised to see him in that film.
Yeah,
I didn't expect that.
I knew I recognized him from something.
Cash grab.
You know what's funny? So I guess I haven't seen enough of My Name is Earl to make the connection between the Crabman and this guy, but I actually did not enjoy the interpreter's character. I thought like all the comic relief and like the jokes just like it never made me laugh. I didn't laugh once. No.
I probably just laughed because I love him. So Crabman is his nickname. In the show, his name is also Darnell.
Okay.
But he's freaking great, and I think that's probably the only reason I loved him so much is because I just have so much nostalgia for him in My Name is Earl.
Right. How weird was it, like, so toward the beginning of the film, you know, after our main character is running from those blades and goes into the water, right? He washes on shore, and then we see Nick Cage in a boat with another guy spot him floating, and I'm like, oh shit,
fisherman.
Yeah, they're already introducing Nick Cage. And then they bring him in and start stitching him up. And then Nick Cage just isn't there. He's just
gone for like 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah. Like so bizarre.
Well, and then when he comes back for like 15, 20 minutes and then leaves again for a little while.
He's very mystical in this movie, but like not in like an intentionally mystical way. More so like, yeah, Nick, go to your trailer. We'll call you in every 20 to 30 minutes when the film starts getting boring.
For sure. Yeah, and who was he in the
Wiley.
film?
His character name is Wiley in the film. And towards the end, we find out that he's actually our main character's father.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
See?
I think I totally missed that.
Repressing this, man.
To be honest.
You fucking...
And by that
he goes
point,
out like a boss, too.
Out, like...
This fool goes out worse than anybody else, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you remember the scene? You guys don't remember the scene, do you?
No.
Not me.
This fool, okay, so I'll talk about it. Fuck you both. This fool, oh my God. So there's like a scene where he's talking about where our main character might become who he has become. And it seems very ominous and like, what the hell does that mean? And I thought there might be some time travel involved at some point because our main character is like running through the woods and falls into a hole and just so happens to stumble upon Nicolas Cage that then goes on this rant about Jiu Jitsu and the spaceman gave us Jiu Jitsu.
Right.
Get off my piano, because at some point our main character jumps onto his piano.
But then Nick Cage jumps onto his own piano during that same scene.
He did
remember
do that? I'm glad you remembered that and not his death.
Yeah. Just the little things.
But like, so towards the end, you know, or at the end, you find out that he was actually his dad, and that's what he's talking about, that at some point he like lost his mind and begged for his life, and Brax decided not to kill him because there's no honor in killing a crazy guy or a cowardly guy, right? And so he comes out of nowhere wearing this cloak that I guess conceals him from Brax, stabs him, and then fights him honorably enough that Brax has an opportunity to kill him. And instead of killing him, he hands his sword back to him for one last battle, which I would have rather had my head chopped off, because this fool slashed him like 5 or 6 times, slashed open his belly, and then picked him up in the air, broke his back, and slit his throat.
That's right. He baned his back.
Yeah.
He did bane his back. He did. He totally Batmaned him.
Yeah, I remember.
And
Okay.
then slashed his throat. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, it's coming back to me now.
I guess he got his honor back.
I guess so.
I'd rather not have it, though, personally.
Dude, Nick Cage was like a kind of a madman in this. He was like John Wick who took too much acid in this
Totally.
film. That's what I kept thinking, because he had that beard, the long hair, but he was like a hippie, you know?
Completely.
Yeah. He had the aviator sunglasses.
Do you remember that one scene where Nick Cage is walking with the group and he's like talking about that he's hungry, like, oh, maybe I can get something to eat, like some noodles or a pickle?
Yeah.
No, I
I'm
think he
glad
said
I'm
a
not the only
noodle,
one that
like
noticed
a
he was
noodle.
asking for a pickle.
Yeah, he says a noodle, huh?
Right.
Or a pickle.
And you hear Frank Grillo's character go, "Can somebody feed Wiley?"
Yeah, and and then out of nowhere, someone brings him like a paper sandwich bag or something, a bag of food. And it's like, where'd you get that? You guys are like in the
Yeah.
middle of nowhere. Is there like a shop,
There's a gift
a
shop.
local Quiznos?
It's so funny. Oh man, I guess, did I pay attention like way too much to this movie? Did I take it way too seriously?
No,
Not enough. I mean, a good amount for a podcast, but more than anyone probably ever should pay attention
you could
to
carry
that.
my weight.
Oh my God. I mean, this movie, like the main antagonist was just the Predator with a mixture of jujitsu and honor, right? Because like he bowed. It's like he wasn't the white trash version of the Predator. He was like the Japanese version of the Predator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was like a Power Rangers villain. I have that written in my notes. I thought I was watching like a Power Rangers film, but like it was worse.
Yeah.
I found it surprising that it was rated R because, like, I would have compared it directly to the Predator more if, like, there was a lot of violence. Nick Cage's death was the most violent scene in the movie, but there really wasn't a ton of violence, and it was rated R. I just kind of thought that was a little bit
Yeah, that's
strange.
true, huh?
like, if you're gonna
I
make it
mean,
rated R, go all out, you know?
There were enough scenes though, man. There was one scene where Frank Grillo's character tried to like take out Brax with like a dagger, and he catches it, stabs one of the other soldiers in the belly, and then throws her against like this wood rack and spikes her to death.
Yeah, that's right.
There were some brutal moments.
Yeah.
I feel bad for bringing this up, but have we explained at all, like, what the plot of the movie is?
No, because it doesn't matter.
we could briefly go over it. It's weird, right?
Who wants to take a shot?
I'll take a shot from what I remember. So for like the last hundreds of years, right? For like the last 1,000 years or so,
Yeah.
this meteor's been passing by Earth every 7 years, and it opens up a portal in this temple. And through that portal comes Brax, this alien that bestowed upon Earth the art form of Jiu Jitsu, right? And every 7 years, he needs to challenge 9 people to Jiu Jitsu before he can return. And then if he wins, if he beats all 9, then or something, then the Earth is destroyed.
No. So
Okay, shit.
You're almost there. The point is it seems like they almost never expect to win. It's that he has to be able to have 9 honorable and worthy fights and kills, right?
Okay.
And if he doesn't get that before the portal closes, he's going to stay and destroy the entire world. If he does get it, then he'll go back home until another, 6 years, I think?
That's so weird.
Yeah.
So is
It
that why
almost
they all
seems
fight
like
him
it
one
might
at a
be
time at the end? Like, I mean, I guess that makes sense, because I don't know if, like, I don't know what the humans' ordeal was, like, what they wanted out of the thing, but they do all fight him one at a time, and I found that a little bit odd. But
Say it again?
they do all fight him, like, one at a time, right? Like,
Yes and
They
no.
they try for that, but there are scenes where multiple people try to team up against him. It doesn't go anywhere very often, but it did towards the end.
I wonder if that's because, like, he refused. I mean, they didn't explain it, but it's like, does he just refuse to fight them if they fight in a group? Because he's like, no, it
Yeah.
has to be one-on-one. And then all the humans are just like, okay. Like,
Right. I'm not going to get too picky about those specifics. You know what I mean? The rules of combat.
It was just such a weird concept that this alien brought jujitsu down and like that. I mean, they just kind of like gloss over that. It's like, oh, that's where the art form that's practiced around the world came from, an alien.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
That's where everything comes from.
Amongst all this weirdness, I think the weirdest part for me was that there were some genuinely good actors in it. I don't know if you guys know who Rick Yoon is, but he's the captain of like kind of like the army in the beginning. And you find out at some point where he knocks out our main character, pulls him into a cave, makes him explain himself, right? And he's like burned to shit on his chest because of Brax. And so this guy's in the cave and he explains he's been hunting this guy for like 20 years. He's been hunting Brax for 20 years with this special ops unit that has nothing to do with the other guys that have been fighting this guy. He wants to put an end to it. And right after he has this standoff where he kind of like gives a pep talk to our main protagonist, leaves, and out of nowhere, he shows up at this weird-ass campfire scene with Nicolas Cage where there's a portal scene flashback. And, like, first of all, fuck you with these angles, like these camera angles. I don't know who filmed this freaking movie, but in this flashback scene, they're trying to show our main character and how he did Brax wrong by running away. And, like, it's like... I don't even know how to explain this. It's like the character was on some sort of a cylinder where it was moving in circular motion, in like a 360 motion, and it kind of made me feel dizzy.
Yeah.
You remember this at all? It's not good.
I think that's where my Vertigo game came from, Chris.
That's probably right. That sounds about right.
Yeah. You know, there were some like I had mentioned before, like the one take fighting scenes I thought were really cool. Also, I thought it was pretty interesting to see a first person fight scene, almost like a video game.
Did you like that?
Not really, but it was just different. Like, you know, I can like commend someone for trying something different, but I thought it was interesting how it would go from first person, but then switch to third person and then show that same character in first and third within like the same frame.
I get what you mean. So there's another actor in this, Tony Jaa, and he's actually pretty big in the martial arts world. He plays, he's the main character in all the Ong Bak films and a bunch of other countless martial arts films. He's actually pretty great and severely underused in this movie, I think. But he's the guy that rescues our main character, right? And this is where they do this kind of first-person shooting scene that you're talking about. And then at some point, it just looks like our main character sets down the camera on a tripod and crooked as well. So, you know, he has to fight, so he can't take too much time to set up the tripod, right? And he disappears to go have this fight in a crooked fashion, and then he comes back and picks up the camera again. And I was like, what just happened?
I didn't even notice that. That's hilarious. Yeah, you know, I was reading an article with an interview with the director talking about this film, and it's just really funny. And, you know, I try not to, like, diminish anyone's creative endeavors or, like, talk shit, but it was just funny to hear the interviewer and, like, his answers talk about this film like it was, like, a film, like what I was saying before. Like,
right.
Like a high esteemed like work of art, you know, hearing him answer these questions like, yeah, we were really excited to try this and this dynamic and getting Nick Cage on board was huge. And, you know, just, it's just like, it sucked, dude. It was so, okay. What I was saying before, it had a budget of 25 million. You know what it made in the box office?
Huh?
72,000.
Wow.
You know why?
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, seriously. So I feel like these types of movies tend to make more money on like streams and people buying DVDs. It's all for the martial arts B-movie people that turn these types of movies or films or whatever you want to freaking call it into a quote unquote cult classic.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
That's where these movies make their money, not theaters.
Right. Oh, true that. And especially now during COVID. I mean,
oh, for sure.
But
definitely.
And Nick Cage was obviously just a selling point because he does play a big role in the movie, but he is absent in a lot of it. But he's at the forefront of the art. of this
Yeah.
movie. So I thought he was going to be like in throughout it.
If he wasn't in this movie, there would be a 0% chance we would have watched it, right? Like,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
You
Ever.
were absolutely right, Shane. He's the only reason we watched it. That's for sure.
Right. And I was so disappointed, like we were saying, like it shows him on the boat, and then like for 40 minutes, you're like, okay. Like I honestly for a minute thought that was gonna be it. I
was
legit
afraid.
I thought so too for a minute.
Well, because with the movie opens up and then he's found in the water or whatever, as soon as you see Nick Cage with that river hat on, I was like, oh man, there he is.
Yeah.
I was excited. I don't care
too.
what's about to happen as long as he's in it. And then he disappears for, like Shane said, 20, 30
Yeah.
minutes. I don't even know.
Then he comes back, and when he comes back, he's pretty solid. He's like kind of like a Yoda type character for the Jiu Jitsu,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess.
But don't you think they were like, oh, there's 5 scenes we need you to film. We don't know where they're going to be in the movie yet, but that's not important.
Yeah.
It's like they just copy and pasted him in.
Yeah.
to certain
Yeah.
places.
So true. Perfectly said. That's what it felt like, 100%.
They were probably like halfway through getting it done and then couldn't find producers or backers for it, so they just kept searching around like, who will say yes to anything at all? And it's Nick Cage, just, you know.
Yeah.
Yo, okay, so when the movie started, right? You know how it goes through all the opening credits for like the production companies and all that? There's one production studio where it was like a rocket ship flying through space, and I was like,
Yeah.
no. Is this the film? Are these the special effects? Did you see that too? It was like some cartoon ship. I'm like, it can't be. But then
you know what?
it turned into the logo. I was like, okay.
Yes.
whew.
But
Yeah.
it wasn't far off either.
It was not.
Guys, there's a graphic that Micah created for a post regarding this story. And if you don't want to watch the film, that's fine, I understand. But if you want an idea of how the special effects are, they're not as good as what he's going to post. So don't expect anything better.
Okay, you know what's funny is like during the opening credits, there were some scenes like with the comic that looked cool, but also it was clearly that they took like just images and photos that they took of landscapes and people and then put some of like Instagram effects on to like make it look cartoony, kind of like the FaceTime effects that we use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's like they obviously didn't have the budget for it. What do we say? They paid Nick Cage $24 million, the other guy like $1 million, and they're like, dude,
Yeah.
that's all we got. Got a couple bucks in my pocket. I have an iPhone. Let me edit these photos this way. But that's what it felt like because you could tell they were real, but they were just like had like heavy contrast on and like exposure.
Did you guys have any moments that like truly made you laugh? Like moments that you're just like, thank you, I needed that.
I think the ninja stars got a little chuckle out of me after a while. Just the pure abundance of them constantly flying past their face and like
yeah, for sure.
they're-
That looked like they were in like a, I don't know, like another landscape behind them or something. Like it was clearly green screen.
yeah, the fact that they were all missing them and like none of them were reacting to them whatsoever, it was just kind of like, we have this fucking ninja star effect, so let's throw it in there. And like after the fact, you know, like
No, for sure. There was a moment that made me laugh. No joke, because I remember laughing out loud, but I don't remember what it was.
I laughed at the
Any-
ending, the way they kill Brax. I don't. Do you remember it all? Like, like they terrible. I laugh because like they go through every one of them fights him with all this, you know, jujitsu and everything, and it's for honor.
Yeah.
And you think like he's gonna be defeated by the one that can defeat him with
Right.
jujitsu, and then they kill him with a couple of grenades.
They
Oh,
did.
that's right.
And as he's shoving
Crab
the
Man
grenades
to the
into
rescue.
like I couldn't.
Was,
yeah,
it
I
was
laughed.
Crabman?
He's the one that threw the 2 grenades. Yeah.
He
Oh,
should have been
yeah.
on the cover of this fucking movie, man.
He is. He's the savior. He's the guy. They show him in slow motion passing him the grenades, and that's what killed. That's the thing that kills Brax. So it
Do you
felt.
guys remember this moment? Like, because the fisherman couple come back towards the end for the final battle scene to kind of help plan things. For whatever reason, they are like clearly know more about this than they ever had let on.
Right.
And there's a scene where like somebody needs medical attention, one of the women, and they try to offer like this drink as
Yeah.
like a kind of painkiller, right? And Crabman, I'm just going to keep calling him Crabman, asks for it, and he starts drinking. They look at him like he's crazy. He's like, what? It's been a traumatic experience. And he compares it to like the time he tried to milk his pit bull.
Yeah.
And I was like, excuse me?
Is it
You
pit
did
bull
what
or
to your pit bull?
Oh no, I think he said pet bull. Or is it pit bull? They're both
thought it was-
disgusting, but a pit bull.
No, but pet bull.
Pet bull.
It was pet bull. Oh my God. It was pet bull. That makes way more sense. Oh, that's worse. That's worse.
I would have turned it off immediately if I thought he said pit bull. Like, nope.
No. Pet bull is so much worse.
Yeah. I mean, it's bigger.
That's disgusting, Micah.
I don't know. I'd rather
I
jerk
thought he
off
was
a bull than a
drinking
dog.
milk.
Dogs are too relatable.
Oh God! Oh, this got worse.
Dogs Dogs are
I'm sorry I
like,
brought it
we
up.
live with dogs, you know? A bull's like, you're at least distance from it, so it's like kind of new, you know? We all know.
No, but a bull is a dude.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we ain't. Yeah. Oh.
That's the thing. Is
Yeah, dude. You
I
can't
thought-
milk
That's
a
why he
bull.
was
Well,
traumatized.
I thought. Oh, okay, I was like picturing this guy when you brought up Pitbull, like jerking off the Pitbull.
No, I was picturing him like milking a female pit bull.
Oh, okay,
None of
that ain't
those are
bad.
good.
Yeah, okay. None of it's good, but yeah, the bulls. Okay,
Bad.
hey, there used to be this commercial, right? And I think it got
Damn it.
banned, but it was for milk, I believe. And this kid, like, or these people are at this farmhouse, and someone wakes up early and's like, good morning, and goes outside, or he pours a bowl of cereal, goes outside, milks the cow, puts it in the cereal, and like starts eating it. And then like the family comes down, she's like, oh, where'd you get milk from? It's like, oh, I milked the cow out there. And they say, we don't have a cow, we have a bowl. Does anyone remember this
No.
commercial? Because it's stuck
it
in my
sounds
head.
vaguely familiar.
I think
regardless,
it's altered my
been-
personality to this day.
it's yeah, that's nasty.
Oh Jesus.
Oh man. Yeah, that's the movie.
That's what it could probably
I
be
do think
compared
it's funny
to,
that-
or broken down to that basically milking a pit bull or a pet bull is the
I
equivalent
think
of
it's
this
definitely
movie.
Pet Bull. I misheard it.
I'm sorry. I think
I'm so upset.
I said something I regret immediately, but it's okay.
That's okay.
It's
We've all said things we
Yeah.
regret.
Wait, would you say that you
Unfortunately,
regret?
most of
Let's
mine
bring
are
it up.
from.
I was comparing I was
let's talk about
comparing
it.
that one-liner to the movie about him milking the pet bull.
You think we milked it from all this movie was worth? We milked it for all
I
it's
think
worth?
that's
Is that what you're
kind
saying
of
here?
yeah, maybe that's
Okay,
probably the way I
okay.
probably should have gone about it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is going to be a small load of a podcast.
I don't know. I think we've already gone beyond what we should have. But I will say it was interesting they decided to, once again, Crabman. They ended it with Crabman, where they did it, right? They saved the day. Crabman has this bottle, this drink. And once again, another joke about how terrible this dude is at communicating and at translating, which is his whole purpose in this movie. He offers a drink to the Asian lady, like the main fisherman's wife, and she says, no, that stuff is poison. And he kind of smiles and nods and said, coming right up, takes a big old drink, end credits. And that's like the end of the credits is Crabman going, go, go, go.
What? How else do you bring this film out? How else do you close this film? You know?
I don't know. I guess there's no better or worse way. There's a worse way. Never mind. There is a worse way.
What's the worst way?
The bull.
Actually showing that flashback like a like a Family Guy moment.
Yeah, definitely. Ugh, ugh. Or a Van Wilder moment. I'm sorry. If you guys catch that reference, I apologize. If you don't look it up.
All right, so what
Don't.
are we rating this son of a bitch?
Keep in mind what this movie is. Compare it to other B or C movies you've seen. What would your
Like
rating be?
like Unhinged.
Can we just give it? Let's say out of 5 bulls.
Out of 5 balls.
Out of 5 bulls? Okay.
I give it 2 bowls, honestly.
I give it 2 out of 10, so I guess 1 out of 5. One
I'm also
bowl
gonna
out
give
of
it 2
5.
bowls.
Two
Two
out
out
of
of
10
5?
or 2 out of 5?
2 out of 5. 2 out of 5 balls.
Okay.
Oh man, that's 4 out of 10.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking bulls, not stars.
Well, I give it 1 pitbull out of.
Don't watch this movie.
It was pretty bad. I don't recommend it. There are some cool martial arts scenes with those one takes. I thought that was kind of ambitious. Apart from that, I don't think
There's a little bit of
you
romance,
should watch it.
but we forgot to talk about the
Yes.
romance because it was not romantic at all. But
Between the
between the
Crabman and the Bull?
yeah, no, just the guy like that scene where it has like that classic scene where the guy's like taking his shirt off and the girl's like ooh, and then they're just like they're like 2 peas in a pod after that,
Oh, right.
and literally nothing
You're
else
right.
happens to establish their relationship.
Well, because I think there was already an established relationship and he forgot about it.
Never mind.
Because, that's the only thing I didn't talk about is like that first scene in the room where he wakes up and he's like been captured by the army or whatever in the area. And he has this weird kind of amnesia or this weird kind of Jason Bourne moment where he realizes he's a badass.
Yeah, right.
Like, I can fight. Cool. But yeah, it sucked.
Not
Anyways,
good people.
so yeah, 2 bulls.
Well, I would say if you're into jiu-jitsu, even more so don't watch it because it's an insult.
Don't watch it. Don't. The most explanation you get and discussion you get about the respective jiu-jitsu is from Nicolas Cage. So
take it at that.
take it at that. Take it how you want
Speaking
it.
of Nicolas
you know?
Cage, do you mind since I really didn't have too much to say about the movie, but I thought I could bring up some of his upcoming projects in the year. Is that cool?
Please do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, because I got really excited about them. They're all pretty awesome.
Please.
Okay, so first up, he has 4 of them coming out. One's Prisoners of the Ghostland. A notorious criminal is sent on a rescue to rescue the governor's daughter, who has disappeared into a dark supernatural universe. So that sounds like a Nick Cage project.
I'm in.
Yas Queen, as the kids
Doesn't
say.
sound, sounds kind of right on par with this in a way. Maybe, hopefully not on par. Hopefully a little bit better. But anyway, so this one sounds amazing. Pig, starring Nicolas Cage. It follows a mushroom forager whose beloved pig goes missing. That's a real movie that's coming out.
Yes.
He is like the John Wick on mushrooms.
Oh my God, thank you.
Something happens to his pig.
That might be like
It's a
Taken,
revenge
like
movie
Liam
for his
Neeson in
pig.
Taken. But it's with the
First,
pig.
it's Nicolas Cage's Last Samurai. Now it's Nicolas Cage's John Wick.
Oh, that's right. That's what you said. This was Nicolas Cage's Last Samurai.
Anyway, wait, sorry. Going on, Willy's Wonderland. I've heard of this one's pretty exciting. It's follows a quiet drifter who's tricked into cleaning up an abandoned family entertainment center haunted by 8 murderous animatronic mascots.
I'm in.
my God.
I saw the trailer
Yeah.
for it. It looks
It
good.
looks pretty
actually.
cool.
Yeah.
And then this one is amazing. This is like the perfect Nicolas Cage movie. It's called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Have you heard of this?
Is it his biopic?
Dude, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Okay. It stars Nicolas Cage as himself.
Oh, I have heard about
Nicolas
this.
Cage begrudgingly accepts a $1 million offer to attend the birthday party of a Mexican billionaire superfan. When things take a wild turn, Nick is forced to become a version of his most iconic and beloved characters in order to extricate his wife and his daughter from the fan who is a notorious drug lord. That sounds fucking awesome.
I'm in. We have to do that episode.
We do have to.
Good God.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yes,
research.
yes.
That's
I'm
beautiful.
excited for all 4 of those. So,
Do you think he'll never ever do like another Lord of War, like another like good movie?
Face Off 2.
Escape from Alcatraz. Or no, it was just, The Rock. That's what it was called. Do you remember the movie The Rock with Nick Cage? He always has
do.
these weird, like, Tourette syndrome one-liners. And there's a moment where he's just like, how in the name of Zeus's butthole did you get out of there?
I'm such a child. I'm laughing at butthole.
I'm laughing at Zeus's butthole.
It's a funny word.
That's a big butthole.
I bet it's electric.
Ooh. On that note, I think it's time to kill Jiu Jitsu this thing into submission.
Yeah, it's definitely time to cut this horse off.
All right, people, or bull. It's been real.
Sorry.
Don't watch this film. I mean, you can. I don't know.
You can watch it if you want to.
If you really want
if
to.
you've seen it, please, God, talk to us about it.
Please, let's talk about it.
I promise, Shane, next time we'll be talking about a good film.
It's all right.
Dude, we're like an Italian family saying bye after an event. Like, it's never the first bye. We start talking some more, then you got to say bye again.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Love you guys.